crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best crypto asset? Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best? There is no second best.
Welcome into Discover Crypto in the Afternoon Show. It is Friday. We're about to head into the weekend trading session, and State Street is kicking us straight in the nuts on the way into this, and we are sitting just about at $90,000 right now for Bitcoin. I got a great co-host, Kelly Kellum, that's going to be joining me on the charts here, as well as a new guest, Julie Kennis, on the show here today. So I'm super excited about it. Before we get into it, Kelly, in the long term, we feel good about Bitcoin. Short term, are you kind of worried about Bitcoin holding this level right now?
You know, I think we are really at peak frustration because it's just exhausting to feel bullish and then to the setups that we're seeing, the fundamentals that are supposed, and the market not respond whatsoever. But then you realize, you look a little deeper, and beyond just the things that are confirming your bias of bullishness, you see there's other things at play. We're going to get into a lot of that today, but as it stands right now, I am still bullish on 2026. I do think I'm kind of leaning more into, I think it might not be so likely to get that push we all want, probably until sometime January, maybe early February, just because of the structure. Now, this does look like it wants to go. We'll dive into this more in a bit, but this right here, we have nothing like this set up here before this price went higher, which is lower lows set up with higher low, basically this bullish divergence on RSI. That leads me to believe, we're right at this crux, 3 different trend lines and a horizontal line right in here. If we do kind of come down, get a lower low into the 75, 78 sort of range, and the RSI have a bit of a higher low, that might be the setup that we need, but we can dive into a bit more of that in a bit because there's a lot of things on the table that are still lining up overwhelmingly bullish for next year, but it's just not represented in the 4-hour chart. So I think we might see some downside this weekend.
Yeah, you can feel it in the chat too. I mean, there's some people that are having a lot of fun. I saw a fellow up here. He's just having so much fun trading short on Friday, get MF and paid. And it seems like we've been pumping in the weekend. But Julie, I'm sure you've been dealing with a chat that's ready to burn the city down. First of all, give us an introduction for you and your general thoughts on crypto as a whole right now, because people are real pissed off.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. My name is Julie Kennis. I host Crypto News with Julie Kennis every day at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then I do another show I just started, which is the Julie and Josie Show, which is outside of crypto. We wanted to do something a little more, exciting for bear market in case that's where we're headed right now. But I have to... What's that?
What do you cover? What's the subject matter you wanted to dive
It's like pop culture stuff. So so like P. Diddy going to jail or Bonnie Blue getting arrested in Bali with her bang bus. Stuff like that. That like the algorithms might like more on other networks. So, so it was a fun we had our first show yesterday. It was good. We were happy with it. But
absolutely love it.
But I am super bullish still for early 2026 on Bitcoin. But I do feel like this weekend, I don't know, we've been having weird little weekend pumps here and there. So maybe we have a little pump. Maybe I'm hopeful, but I still think maybe early part of 2026 we're going to see some movement with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, as things sit right now, the market's a real mixed bag. We're just looking at Bitcoin on Kelly's charts, and if you look, XRP, apparently they dug deep in the pocket change they had and got this thing back to $2. XRP community was freaking out there for a minute because they fell below XRP's hopeful holding point at $2. And a side note, in the morning basement show, XRP did win the duck race. So maybe that's bullish for 2026. XRP, Cardano, and Ondo, chaotically enough, won the duck races. BNB pumping. We have Mantle pumping. So there is some love to be had out here. And honestly, Litecoin's not too far away from its $100 spot that it likes to be at. but there is a lot of frustration out there. Get lucky, race a duck. Yeah, man. We race ducks. I don't know if you know this, Kelly, or Julie. I race ducks and we
Wait,
give
you guys
crypto.
have racist ducks?
We
No,
have
you
racing
race
ducks.
ducks.
Okay,
Okay,
racing ducks. You got to add the ing out there. Jeez, Kelly, I saw a buddy of yours posting something that made me feel damn bullish, and it was this: is On Chain College, and I think shame on me for not following him yet because he's on the Discover Crypto Twitter Spaces you hold, right? He was on there.
Yeah, I've had him on. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
great.
the chart he posted here, the depth of this pullback on this short-term holder MVRV Bollinger Band really makes me feel like we're squeezed as much fear out of the markets as we can right now. Like we are seeing, you were just on, Kelly, were you just on with Tom Crown as well? Because he's highlighting this death cross. This is one of the charts that I had, and the death cross, the thing that worries me is the angling of this pullback right now.
Oh, it's pretty damn sharp. It's gonna take some momentum to make that reverse course for sure.
Right. Absolutely. Because like we've seen this in the past, and it was simply a bounce moment. This is right after the Japanese yen carry trade washout at about 49K we got down to here. But the decline was not nearly as sharp as it is right now, which, my heart is bullish on Bitcoin, but I'm having to basically, I flipped the chart upside down. What do you got?
Well, on that note, I posted this yesterday, and this basically highlights that. Now I'll show you to you in another chart that's a bit cleaner. Essentially, this yellow dot where the price is right now, this bull or bear battle for control, we really are in a pivotal, I would say, over the next 2 or 3 months, kind of deciding setup of if the bears are going to take us quite a bit lower, or if this is just the biggest fake out in history. And the reason why I pointed that out is because the price is not only under these 3 random lines an analyst drew on the chart. Well, these aren't 3 random lines. This is the short-term holder cost basis, the 21-week moving average, and the 200-day moving average. All of these, and all of these can be very looked at as sort of the bulls in control or bears in control. If you're finding support above it, or these, we've seen these slight fake outs below and then launch, slight fake out below, then launch, bounce above, kind of mini launch, double top here. But now we're quite a bit below that. And when you see that on this chart, this is kind of what On Chain College was showing. The depth of which we are below the short-term holder cost basis is, quite a bit lower. I thought I had another chart there. Quite a bit lower than we've been. So we really are in this position right now that screams for a bit of caution, because even with a rally, we all want to see a rally. Well, the truth be told, we have to pay attention to all 3 of these lines, which are up here. Short-term holder cost basis at basically 102.5. We got the 21-week moving average and the 200-day about 108, 109. So even with the rally from where we're at now, up into that basically $100,000 to $105,000 region, very strong possibility there's either a huge rejection from there, we come lower, or at least a midterm sort of rejection and we form a high low. But if anything right now, it's just cautionary. I know we have some stories about Japan and some other things that are affecting the liquidity conditions globally, but I think we're in for a patient Christmas. Let me put it that way.
Patient Christmas, indeed. And Julie, I haven't had you on the show yet. Are you excited for Christmas? I'm a Christmas nerd. Have you gotten your Christmas presents already purchased before we have potentially go into a bear market here? Have you already got them stacked up?
Most of it. Stockings are sorted. Yeah, presents we're most of the way there. So
okay,
the market can do what it does now. I'm not too worried about it.
Good. And that's kind of where I'm at too. Like I can't even get to my clothes in my closet, because here's the deal, Julie. I have saved $3,000 on Amazon shipping costs in a very short amount of time. Okay, so that tells you what I spent. There are problems there.
But I wanted to say really quick too on the fact that this is likely going to be a patient Christmas. Everybody's portfolio, if you're doing silly things right now, is feeling like this. You're feeling like a patient in a coma at Christmas with all your limbs and arms and legs and everything broken. But I think we do need to be a little bit cautious right now. I'm still a bull in 2026, but the people that are doing silly things like these 1,000 traders that were liquidated because they're aping in long, aping in short, aping in long, and all this leverage. And they're just, donating their money to the game, to somebody else that has better strategy. So don't let yourself be this type of patient on Christmas by trying to chase the trend. Let the trend sort of develop and then make your moves.
Boogaloo, but I do feel that picture is really explanatory for how the vibe is out there, man. And Kelly brought it up. I am going to talk about it. The 19th of December may bring some more pain for us. We have the Bank of Japan sitting on the potential of raising their interest rates on December 19th. Japan is also notably the largest holder of U.S. government debt. They've been unwinding to a degree, but the massive unwind has not kicked off yet. And that will cause a massive, short-term painful moment. This is not good news for the markets, especially if they raise their interest rates. The hopeful in me says that they're going to hold interest rates because they're still wanting to be a trading partner of the U.S. and keep those relationships together. But this is something that we must be cognizant of. And, don't get too worked up if we do see a massive pullback. It is a potential. We saw it when we were at I want to go just show this for anyone because I know I get a lot of new questions. So I feel like people need to kind of take a step back and check out what happened to us last time we saw a true carry trade unwind. Because this moment, the last carry trade slight unwind really was in the midst of an already ongoing pullback. The last time we saw a nasty washout and a transfer from the carry trade was this right here, where we were about $62,000 and washed down to $49K in what felt like the blink of an eye. But that did cause enough low entry points interest to begin the process and jettison us back up to these highs. And I'm standing on my bullish business. I know I'm looking at a death cross, but there is a double green dot on the weekly market cipher signal.
Well, there's a little bit of a caveat with the Japanese yen carry trade. What happened was the end of July last year, and right into the first 3, 4, 5 days of August is when the Japanese yen carry trade happened. Now, what also happened at that same time? Oh yeah, that's when Germany dumped billions of dollars of Bitcoin right here. And we had the Japanese carry trade kind of parlay into that. So while we are seeing things, right now with a little bit of the fears of the unwind, this has also been starting to be priced in, I think, since, the repercussions since July of last year. So I'm curious. I'm not saying it's not going to have an impact. I'm just curious what level of impact it's going to have this time. When you're seeing this happening at the same time, we're seeing all the other liquidity conditions and printing scenarios and all this happening at the same time. It feels like maybe all the positive liquidity things might be somewhat neutralized by this. Now, is that good or bad? One, it means that maybe we won't fall as far, but it also means we probably won't pump exactly like everybody's wanting to in the immediate moment. People are still waiting with this hesitation on risk. Government shutdown, still not fully satisfied all the way through the end of January, Japanese yen carry trade. And then we've also got the concerns about what's happening with maybe less Fed rate cuts. So it feels like we're in a simulation because every overwhelming positive bullish story that we get feels like it's immediately neutralized by a new Trump plan, a new tariff, what's going on with Japan. It's just like there's so many cracks in the system. Every government official is out to Home Depot right now trying to find some really good black caulk to fill the holes. You know what I mean?
Or people to deport. And Trump's got some new worries here. Trump on Venezuela. He might be looking at setting a land operation up in Venezuela, saying it's going to be starting on land pretty soon in Venezuela.
Like boots on the ground?
Yeah, that's what this is hinting at. So, there's been a lot that we've ran, this last few years, the emotions were high all the way through. When we did have that carry trade situation, Julie, were you covering crypto or involved with crypto at that point?
I was. Yes.
What was running through your mind when you saw us drop? Because we had just hit new all-time highs.
Right.
And
I feel like every time we've hit all-time highs, we get a dump. It's not like we've never hit that euphoria phase where it just goes up and it continues up and up and up and everybody's printing. We haven't had that. We will hit all-time highs and we might stay there for a short time, but then it almost immediately dumps. But that people were very scared. And yeah, I always try and encourage people to take some profits along the way and not be afraid of stable coins. Because I think people get really afraid of stable coins, and stable coins can sometimes be your best trade.
I love that because one of Drew's sort of best quotes over the last several weeks is his favorite crypto right now is Tether. And it's true. And I think just to kind of mention for everybody right now, this what I mentioned earlier, it wasn't an off-color thing. This stream is brought to you by Black Calc. And I do think
that was a real thing. I thought you were messing with me for a second. I'm like, poker face.
No. I'm jacking with everybody, but we might need to put that into your portfolios to plug the holes of all the stupid decisions that we're doing right now. So, but yeah, I mean, you're dead on, Julie, and both Drew and Julie. I'm super excited about what's going on with the crypto ecosystem, but Tether and stablecoins sometimes the best thing to do is nothing at all, or maybe sit on the sidelines if you're not sure what to do.
Yeah. Something Julie said really needs to be emphasized too. It's like, take profits along the way. And I got pretty aggressive about this in the basement show this morning. It's like, you'll see a 3x in 2-3 months on an altcoin that you took a bet on, a risk on. What the hell are you doing leaving your original money in there to begin with? And also take the profits, right? Enjoy the profits. Like, we're not in here to just go brag on Twitter about it. The 1000x picks, don't go chasing them, right? Consistency, slow gains win the race. And where we're at right now, if I am such a lucky boy that I get an entry point below electrical cost for mining Bitcoin, the electrical's at 74K, right at that original peak. And if I can get something in the 65 to 70 range, I'm backing the truck up the same way that I was a lucky boy back here and just had this stupid line from the previous peak. And I saw the price go down here. We had Terra Luna collapse. We had FTX, all that stuff go down. And I got lucky. I mean, I wasn't really lucky. It was just patience and finally got the entry point that I wanted. Please don't go top blasting charts, right? When you see things moving, don't top blast. It's basically impossible to top blast a chart right now, unless you're buying like a local top.
But we forgot there's been a major pumper today, dude. Like, I cannot believe, especially after the years and years and years of, I mean, look at this consolidation, guys. Massive the longer the base, the higher the space, right? This is a joke, everybody, but this is Luna. Do Kwon got sentenced today. It actually did see a bit of, we jokingly looked, we're like, I wonder if that pumped. Yeah, 270% pump on that. I do not recommend in any way trying to capture any of this, because remember, this is a dead project.
Yeah. People just, they're trading on it. And it's almost like crypto reminds you how infantile it is in moments like this, where the founder will go and be sentenced officially to 15 years in prison, and you pump by however 100%, whatever it is. One of the better traders out there has actually got me feeling pretty bullish on Ethereum right now. CryptoFace came out. He's highlighting his spider line right here. $3,082 is essentially where it's landing here. But he's pointing to this, and I use Market Cypher. I like his product a lot. I'm probably looking at a lot of the same stuff, but you're just facing the great uncertainty, and macroeconomically, things are looking pretty risk off. Gold is surpassing $4,300 today. Silver just hit an all-time high yesterday. And there's this giant fight on the political spectrum, especially now California.
Before we get to the politics, I want to talk about that macro also, because although this isn't crypto, this is affecting the entire market as well. This is NVIDIA. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but interestingly, on the 4-hour chart, this has got a pretty damn major head and shoulders here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. And the target of that's down about 20 to 22%. And we did the math on that. Remember, this is about a $4.2 trillion asset. That would be a reduction of almost $1 trillion, $924 billion if that target's met, which for those of you who don't realize how big a trillion is, that would be about 1/3 the size of the entire Canadian stock market. It's pretty, it's or 25% of the UK stock market. That would have a pretty big impact, $1 trillion loss on the biggest asset that the history's ever known.
All tech would feel it. Everything would feel it.
That's a structural thing that you were looking at. Is that a head and shoulders pattern that you're highlighting on the actual chart for NVIDIA here? Let me see what you're looking at.
Yeah, this is a head and shoulders. We got a bit of a shoulder here, large head, shoulder. And
Okay.
so basically, if you measure that out, basically from the neckline here, all the way up to the top, and then you measure that from the neckline, that's how you get your target. That measurement is about, let's see, I got to come over here to the measuring tool. That is, about 22%, which this would represent $1 trillion loss in that asset class.
How do you determine the distance down
You basically, so you have
from the top of the head to the
you
shoulder?
have the shoulder, the head, the shoulder.
Yeah.
And you take a measurement
Right.
from the neckline, which is this support level that all this is bouncing on.
Right,
And you
okay.
measure from that all the way up to the top of this toppest point, and then you go like that. And again, I'm not saying this is going to hit, but I do expect that this will have at least, if things are going to turn around and get super bullish and everything's in bear trap mode right now, maybe this comes down a bit. And what you'd want to do is kind of measure from here, option F, to the top there. Go look at that. It's kind of right around the 382. So yeah, I'd be look at that. I eyeballed it.
Wow.
Right
Yeah.
into about the golden pocket, about 161, 162. That's the bullish case. If this comes down, traps people, and then shoots up. The most bullish case, obviously, is if everything just shoots up from here, but we're not seeing that scenario right now. Unless, I think the one thing that could flip that and flip the bullish rockets on, not just on NVIDIA, but the markets across, is if the Treasury starts, doing twice as much buying as well, because it's not just the Fed. Fed starts increasing how much they're buying, or there's some other things telegraphed. There are some scenarios that are just lower probability.
Yeah. These are interesting things to think about. It's got some people flustered. Alex Becker came out and he's pissed. Okay. I'll pull this down. So Alex Becker is talking about Trump needing to eliminate taxes on crypto for 2 years as an apology for Melania token. The Solana pain, the Melania token rollout. This token Melania Trump rolled out right after Trump's meme coin, and it basically sucked all of the life out of Solana memes. And I haven't seen it come back yet. I think it will come back, but I haven't seen it come back yet. I'm not voting. If not, I'm voting straight communist and electing Whoopi Goldberg next election. No justice, no peace. Okay. These are things I never thought I'd hear out of Alex Becker's mouth. It's kind of incredible. What do you got here, Kelly? You got
I was just gonna say, if you all want some entertainment, go and just Google Ted Danson, Whoopi Goldberg. I'm not gonna say more.
okay.
But,
okay. No, that's understandable. And I'll say more on the things that can get us banned. The H-1B visa battle. So California and other U.S. states are ready to sue Trump and his $100,000 fee on new H-1B visas. This news broke out of Reuters today. And, people are up in arms, not just in the political spectrum, but in crypto, in markets at large. Alex Becker is completely correct. Matthew, unbelievable. Alex Jones was right. Yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head. Oh, my God. Now, we did just have a chance to interview Charles Hoskinson on Discover Crypto, and that video is going to be dropping shortly. But Hoskinson got drugged through the incorrect mud by mainstream media. They came out. Cardano founder reacts as Knight token crashes from $150 down to 2 cents. Hoskinson didn't take kindly to this. Now that he's a former trillionaire, it's time to make me the new Mr. T Charles persona.
But let's dispel some of that, though, because did it really go from 150 to 2 cents, or was there an error in the way that
It went? I saw it at 4 cents.
Right.
But I don't know if it was really 150.
The highest it pumped up to was like 8 cents.
People see they find one chart with an erroneous wick and they're like, "This is what happened." It's like, no, bro.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it was hopeful to launch at 8. Yeah, see, about as high as 8.7 cents. I am a hopeful romantic about privacy coins, though. And, it's not going to hurt my feelings to throw my financial support into this thing. I might take like a couple $100, maybe $1,000, and throw it at it. It just rolled out. You have the initial rollout here, the sellers from the people that were mining it. But TJ actually had some pretty interesting viewpoints of it because they have this different type of gas mechanism going on within the dust setup on the Cardano ecosystem. And this, midnight token, I want it to succeed. The one thing that worries me though is if it does succeed, it might draw some attention away from Cardano to midnight, which is a potential that I acknowledge. But it's something that I'm going to be taking a look at, right? Because I am a hopeful romantic of privacy here in the United States and worldwide. Like, people have a right to privacy, and that thing is just, you're seeming to lose it. Blockchain is not private. There is no form of privacy on blockchain. A fella from Grayscale was highlighting he feels like Zcash is the best play at privacy. And I was looking at Zcash as a potential buy. I have a little list here that I wrote on a napkin of charts here. Kelly, can we go look at Zcash real quick? I'm going to grab this little napkin here. I wrote these things down on my last show here.
I mean, if you want to, we can look at Zcash. Let me see. Let's go out to the 3-day. I mean, look at that pump. Golly. For those, man, this is a 3-day chart too. So this is 2024, 2023, 2025. I mean, this rally is just absolutely bananas. 20 almost 2,200%. Basically a 22x. So, I mean, what do you do here? Well, I was talking about it on this level up here. I was like, well, as exciting as this is, I'd be interested in watching this come back and test this previous range high. And that's essentially what it did. Came back down, tested previous range high. So as it stands now, the question is this a rise, retrace, continuation, or is this a top and a fall with the dead cat bounce is going to continue down? So what I'd like to do is take a fib from the top to the bottom there. Let's get on a little bit smaller time frame. Let's take this over just like that. There we go. And look at this. This is on the weakest. This is the weakest fib here for this to come up. If this rejects here, this is telling me that this is likely sort of exhausted its pump. If this is able to either high or low here and reclaim 655, 658, this is a golden pocket, then I'd be really watching for this to continue to the upside. But right now it looks a bit exhausted. If we look at the other data, because remember, you can't just look at price. Money flow is flat at this point. This is on the 4-hour. Let's go to the daily. Okay, money flow is negative. RSI, it's at the pivotal point right now. Look at this, right at that 50 line. That line that seems so simple that everybody forgets to look at. On the daily, the bulls are trying to reclaim back into the strength territory. So we're going to have to watch that in the interim. But if the market in general is starting to pull back, actually, I reserve that statement. I was going to say if the market pull back, Zcash might likely will as well. However, Zcash was also pumping when nothing else was. So yeah, I just be keeping an eye on this on the 4-hour and on the 1-hour. Look, 1-hour RSI is right at the 50 line. If this is able to bounce here, maybe there's some signs that we might make the run. But if this is lost, then I think it's going to come back to 302 and below.
Yeah. And the chat's asking, what are you buying, Julie? If you're buying anything at all, because there's a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
You have your eyes on any buys?
I'm not really buying anything right now, but I see Brian's calling me out in the chat. He actually is right.
Wait
about
a minute. If you say
coin.
you're not buying anything, they say do the inverse Kramer set. Everybody needs to go out and buy everything.
Go buy dog. Yeah, go buy dog.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm a member of the dog army from way back when. So yeah, still proudly holding my dog bag. But yeah, I've got several L1s. You know, I like ETH, Cardano, Solana, Bitcoin. I'm gonna buy each of those. And then I just have degen plays on pretty much all of those chains.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I always like to stack it back to the L1.
Trying to keep it in the safer kind of longer outlook type layer ones if you're doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a maxi on any one chain because I feel like each chain is really building out something different and has different things that I like about it. So yeah, I'd like to keep it a little more diverse.
So you're not all in on IOTA then, just waiting for the pump.
No, actually I was thinking of going all in on Terra Luna now that we've got the bottom there.
I mean, that chart looks incredible. There's definitely projects that I'm still liking, and I gotta if I see Morpho dip under $1, I'm buying more Morpho. We had about $900 million in outstanding loans so far in the year. Projections surpassing $1 billion in active loans by the end of this year. And I think 2026 is going to look even better. And if you go and look at how much value is still locked in crypto and DeFi, this chart does not make me want to just run away like a scared little ninny poo. This chart makes me want to lean into the pain on revenue generating and useful utility projects.
Well,
right?
they also have made some announcements kind of foreshadowing what they're going to announce on December 17th with Coinbase. Not Morpho specific, but Coinbase rolling. They're going to be doing a prediction platform apparently also in addition to rolling in a lot of tokenized stocks. I think they're kind of trying to step into that everything exchange marketplace prediction, like all of it. So it's going to be interesting. I can't imagine that they're not going to include some announcements that are tied in with Aerodrome and with Morpho, those both being sort of key pieces of that sort of broader DeFi aspect that Coinbase is adding for functionality.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good additional info there, man. Because like I said, like this chart does not make me feel like it's over. Like this makes me feel like it's an emotional washout. I'm usually surrounded by people that are incorrect in crypto. Most people end up playing the crypto realm incorrectly. And so I've learned to kind of be counter narrative, seeing everyone guaranteeing it's over and that they're going to be able to out trade all these massive organizations coming in makes me pretty doubtful of their long-term success. Unless they're in and out of trades and they're doing it successfully, right? But you need to take profits. Julie said it best. Take some freaking profits, right? Aerodromes. And now let's go down a list here. This is a napkin. All right. I've already talked about Tau enough. Tau, I want 250. I'm in. Okay. I'm going to buy a little bit of Tau, but if I get like 250, low 200s on Tau, I'm going after it hard. Pendle. I haven't bugged you about Pendle yet, Kelly. Can you go look at Pendle? Because I've been talking about this project for freaking ever. And it's tapping some zones that I think, from my perspective, look very structurally important from where it's at right now.
Man, I guess I must have drawn this out when this was breaking down. And look at this. Came up, completely overshot 382, rejected below the golden pocket, came up to the 786, all the way back to, I mean, this looks like a lot of stuff in the altcoin market right now. I mean, look at Aerodrome, just boom, 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 boom. So if we go back to Pendle, what do we look at it? That's what time frame? That's the 3 days. So let's look at it the 4 hour. All right. Well, we got a bit of a support level kind of right in here, falling wedge, but I'm not very convinced on falling wedges this cycle because these all typically are supposed to, on a high percentage, break to the upside, but we've seen the opposite take place. It's like, oh, it's bullish, and then it's like, gotcha, oh, gotcha, and then kind of make a decision. RSI, look at this, completely under the 50 line. See that? Weakness is in control. Money flow is negative. The MACD is heading sharply down. This looks like it wants to take a bit of a spill lower.
Okay. So I might get it. And I'm looking at this sadistically wanting lower levels, just so we're all clear here.
Yeah.
Now,
but you like it. Why would you like lower levels?
Because I buy low and I sell it high. That's the whole game here. Jesus Christ. What are we doing? We're just like, and that's the funny thing about like, and also chat, drop your tickers in the comment section if you want us to chart out something specifically. I have one more project that's been on my mind that I want us to take a look at. But, drop what project, if I haven't already covered it, in the chat. I'm not looking at Caspa again because I've looked at it like twice this week and I'm not doing it.
Do we want to look at Drift in remembrance of Isaac?
Dude, oh my God. Let's go look at Drift. Yeah. Oh, God.
It's good he's in boot camp, not being able to look at this chart because holy moly. Because when was that? That was like,
Yes,
that was around like, I don't even remember when that would have been. That would have been when did he buy it? It was last year.
He got at 25 cents. So he's not too far underwater, but this is not great. Okay. This is not great.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is called down and to the right. RSI can go lower, money flow evaporating. That's on the 12-hour. Yeah, I mean, it just looks, I mean, God, everybody would love to see a bottom soon.
I got a lesson about this chart too. Can you go look at the all-time high on this real quick? Because this is the lesson we must take from this. So
296.
yeah. So Isaac got in on this at 25 cents. It took him a while to convince me that it was here to stay. or at least that there was a pumpamental to it. So I bought it a decent bag at about 50 cents, and it had one night where we pumped up to damn near $3, and I jeeted the entire bag for $2.50. I just completely got out of it. I was like, 50 cents to $2.50 is a great upside.
That's a
for
great
me.
trade. Yeah.
It happened
400%
very
move.
quickly, and I sold everything and took my profits. That was in the season where, we were like, what was that, 2024, end of 24? There's so much more hope for altcoins, but the hope didn't matter to me.
And look at this, even on the resurgence, even on the bounce. And I measure this not from the scammy wick here, just from the candle bodies, measured down to low. And is the fib useful? Well, you can tell just by the measurement. This bounced right on the 382, came up, rejected the 786. So there's levels being respected, then came into the golden pocket. But then on this large bounce, weakness clear here, double top right at the lower fib, the bearish fib rejection zone, 382, and just completely nuked from there.
Yeah, I'm going through the chat through. And you know what? XRP won the duck race today, and we rarely do an actual TA section on XRP. And this is not some adoption hopium BS. We're just going to go look at it and see if it's about to lose
It's
this.
a bull flag. It's a massive no, I'm just joking. Let's go to an older chart here. All right, we got this is the intermediary. Oh, it's exciting. Oh, all the SEC, blah, blah, blah. SEC got a, that whole thing was dismissed or announced it was going to be. Boom, you got to move up. And it's really just been consolidating sideways for a year. I mean, over a year, 390 days. 390 days with the washout. This is October. I don't even have to look at the date. This is October 10th washout that we saw. One of the things that's scary about this for everybody, as much as you don't want to hear it, a lot of the altcoins that have washouts like this, most of them have already, a lot of them, I should say, have already realized the candle bodies going down to as far as where those washouts were, because there's a good indication where there was actually buy liquidity in the charts. So is this, and this is a question, I'm not saying it is this a sort of front-running conclusion or suggestion that this may come down and test all the way into $1.30, $1.24? I don't know, because this is also where, look, previous rejection support zone right in here. That would be that would suck for people that are just only wanting up. Let's look at it.
Man, that is very, very interesting. You bring up a great point that the true value zone for a lot of these alts is being eventually shown by that October 10th washout. So this is something. Now in the chat, are you buying XRP if it goes to, what is that, $1.50 that the washout would be? Let me see here. We got to see that target, because I got to ask him who's buying XRP.
Well, there's a golden pocket right in the $1.70 zone, $1.59 to $1.69. But the target, if you were to come down all the way down here, you'd be testing in near the 786, but about $1.30.
Gotcha. All right, Julie, I've never asked you about this. Do you think XRP is a psyop? Do you think it's a psyop?
There are conspiracies about it, and I don't know, but I tend to like conspiracy theories, so yeah, maybe.
Okay. Well, now, I'll give you something that's not a conspiracy theory. If I post about XRP, the most likes that come on that comment are fake women accounts from Nigeria. And they're all like gorgeous pictures stolen off Instagram, fake accounts from all over the damn place. Makes me think that they're running a bot army to drive engagement and make people feel the euphoria of posting about XRP because they get the likes.
Yes.
Right?
It's that dopamine hit when they get all the engagement.
Well, and as a content creator, it's not just a dopamine hit, it's a brand builder.
Yeah.
It's a brand builder to be bullish on XRP, which makes me think that there's some kind of psyop going on right now. And I started as a researcher, and I was setting up shows for other big name crypto influencers. And every single day I would have to go through 20 or 30 bank adoption stories about XRP. Right.
Yeah.
And when I was like, they're just feeding people what they want to hear and nothing's actually happening, but it's created a cult. And that cult will sell their wives to protect $2 price action for XRP at this point. So I can imagine the blood is going to be very, very very brutal if they do lose that price action. So show me the lie, Darren. He's like, load of shit. I'm serious. I'll show you receipts, man. Go look at the likes on the XRP post and then click where the person's from. They don't call me the truth for nothing. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And then the last one I wanted to look at. I feel this project is here to stay, and I actually earnestly like this project, Aave. Okay. Now the reason I like Aave so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
Grandpa, you've been saying that for 20 years.
dude. I mean, that's $1 trillion market cap, right? I think honestly, if they keep the cult going, then XRP could hit $10 if it kept the excitement and the scam bots going on Twitter for the next 8 years, like past 2030. Sure, I could see that. But yeah, other than that, like I look at these things pretty carefully, you guys, and this is coming from someone like XRP was my third crypto project that I bought in this like ever. So just take that with a grain of salt. Okay?
Well, I will say though, to XRB's credit, and I don't know how much this is going to matter or if it's great or if it's but we did also see stories today, and it's not just Ripple, it's not just XRP, but there's quite a bit of different OCC grants to different crypto brokerages, investment funds, Ripple that are getting banking licenses. So, you know, I will say, even with my sort of hesitation around XRP, maybe the PSYOP is the PSYOP. Maybe the, you know, because there's such a cult of personality around it, it makes you not like it. But in reality, they are doing a bunch of stuff in the back end that's still, I mean, there's no telling, guys. I mean, what we've seen happen in the last 2 years, actually, I've been in the markets for 10 years, but in the last 2 or 3 years, especially with AIs launching meme coins that go to multi-billion valuations, there's no telling, man. So if you're going to make money on it, I hope you do. Just like Drew says, make sure you take profits along the way because nothing's guaranteed.
No, the burn rate's what mechanically enforces my mindset, because you'd have to basically usurp the entire financial system across the world to experience a true run to say $100 a token. It's not going to happen. What are you going to do? Physically remove bankers and get them out of the way? They're not going to give a private company that. The burn on the token for transactions is too low to actually get somewhere amazing. So I wanted to say and kind of highlight Aave, because I feel like I'm looking at cheap prices for Aave. In terms of lending, Aave is still remaining very, very strong. And look at the lending market, just general TVL. It's looking stronger than hell. Now, Aave is at a $32 billion TVL right now. It's still producing about $15 million in fees per week. This is pretty good for me. I'm liking seeing this. In terms of price action, I want to hop on over to here and actually see. And let's actually take a gander. Bitcoin still writhing around here at the $90,000 mark. I'm going to check out Aave, because it'd be great if I could get super, super cheap Aave. I want all the fear, all that smoke, but it seems to keep bouncing off this 180 mark pretty aggressively, and I actually made some of the bigger trades in my entire career off this thing. What do you think about it?
The reason it's bouncing there is, I mean, look at this trend line. I mean, this trend line has been in place since all the way back in August of 2023.
Wow.
It's bounce. We're kind of just bounced all the way down to, I mean, on the October washout, 100, almost at $1.48, 148, but really about that 170 level. But this currently, it's only a push up into all of these lows. If this rejects here, what is that? Let's look at it on a fib. Very simple, very basic. Okay, went up right to the golden pocket, an expected area. If this can hold, 190, 185, 190 above, then likely continuation. If this comes down here, we're watching 170. If that's lost, then we'll likely, come back into this $124 region.
Yeah.
This was October 10th. I don't know what I was talking about. This was the October 10th.
That's the 10th one. Someone's bringing a shout out from the past here, and I have made a lot of money off ICP. I've never asked you about this, Kelly. What are your thoughts, or Julie? What are your thoughts on ICP? Because
I don't even know what ICP is. What is ICP? Is there another name?
It's an insane clown posse, and it
Oh,
was a
I
great.
was thinking that's what you were saying. I'm like,
No,
is he
it's just kidding. So
Man.
it's ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. And
Internet Computer Protocol? Okay.
what it's meant to do is be a landing spot where the entire internet can move to a Web3 design, right? Where
Right.
basically it's almost like an XRP, we're going to take over banking idea, where instead of taking over banking, they want to take over the internet. And from a ethos and like a hopeful romantic in crypto that yes, everything's going to be on chain. It sounds great until you buy it at release and then it hurts you very badly. So I revenge traded ICP very heavily and made a lot of money through my vengeance.
Good.
Don't recommend this. I'm not saying you should be doing this, but I revenge traded it very heavily, and it was great. I got my wife a sewing shop out of the revenge that I took on this thing.
I have to cut in. I saw a comment in here, and I was like, well, let me just take a look. Guys, we're doing it wrong. We're doing it so wrong.
Ketamine
Flying
horse.
ketamine horse.
Yes.
This
Straight in
is
the K-hole.
asset of the future. 2,300%.
1000x.
What in the actual?
Oh my God, that's wonderful. The trenches might be waking up again. Look at that.
It
Look.
sounds like it.
And it's on World Liberty Financial. Yeah, this is the asset of the future, guys.
It's made it.
Again, let's go back just to check it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's an
Flying
incredible
ketamine
way. I mean,
horse.
how do you not win with a picture like that? I mean, that's
It's
just a winning combination.
Very derpy.
I try to buy
drugged
utility
up.
tokens, and I see this nonsense, and I'm like, what is happening?
The thing about it is the liquidity, right? Like, you can be up that much on paper. It's about if the liquidity's there. But that might be the future of finance. I'm just kidding. Don't take that. God, everything that you say, everyone's like, okay, I'm YOLOing my life savings into it, and it's wrong. So let's take a look at some ICP now. So I have a story about ICP where I bought it at about $250 originally, and that was a mistake, okay? And because this thing kept falling. And so I got rid of it just about $50 and just took the shot on the chin. And then I decided to take my vengeance and backed the truck up on this thing at about $3.50. And then I G'd all of it at about $16.50 up here. And I almost caught the Pico top. Now, since then, things have been very angled down and to the right, not uppity, very downity. And Julie, does your chat or the people that you run into ever talk about ICP? I just want to do a litmus test on it. If it's just
Never even
a
heard of
community.
it.
You've never even heard of it.
Never
You
even
see?
heard of it. Yeah. I mean,
See?
I really thought you were saying Insane Clown Posse. Like
So
when you said it.
the other name for it is Internet Computer. And it was
Yeah.
all the
Okay.
rage-
Internet computer. I have
it
heard
was
of
all
just
the rage
Internet
when it
computer.
launched. It was all the rage when
Yes.
it launched, and it became understood very quickly after that when it launched, it literally came out of nowhere. It's kind of like Hype this cycle. It came
Right.
out of nowhere, and it was like in the top 10 in like 2 days. Everybody's like, "What is this asset?"
Right.
And then when the FTX debacle happened, it all the stuff came out, and it's not ICP's fault, but they have taken a hit from it for some time. That it was launched at a sort of higher valuation than it should have been, sort of pumped, and then they shorted the living shit out of it. So the chart makes it look like dog shit, but in reality, there were bad actors at play outside of the ICP team. But I think for that reason, there's a lot of confusion around what's the true value of it, and But I go to all these different conferences, and they always have incredible. Kind of like, I don't want to call it like Solana Breakpoint, but they have their own side events and they've got great people at all these events, a lot of things that they're doing. The question is, can they get over the hump of the hesitation around the reputation, whether or not they were a part of it, and can they get meaningful integrations that continue to grow? And I think that's the story with most altcoins out there, with or without that sort of reputational flag.
Yeah,
Right.
in ICP, it's like leading in development activity all the time randomly. And it's kind of maddening to see a project with so much development, what looks like development happening, but the price just cannot catch a break. But it was pumping a little bit like a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. You can't tell from this graph, but this is the pump. It came out of nowhere. It almost feels like that was the last hurrah escape pump for insiders before we go from 99.8% down from all-time highs to basically looking like this. Okay, that's might be the situation at hand. All right, and then I've seen Linnea brought up a couple times. I was gonna buy it if I could get it half price of what I did that initial entry point on. Kelly, are you still holding Linnea? Did you still hold that project?
Yeah.
All right, let's go look at it because Linnea is kind of interesting, Julie.
Isn't that the one tied on MetaMask? It's like
it is.
MetaMask's layer. Yeah.
Yeah, it is on. God, he just Kelly. He's just going nuts with this. Unbelievable.
It's Friday, man. We need to
Yeah,
freaking
that's
have
true.
some laughter.
He's inclusive
If
too.
Ronnie
He's an
Horse is
inclusive
outpacing
clown.
the entire market, then we need to laugh about, again, we're bringing all the alpha on today's show, the Black Hawk, plugging the
Yes.
holes, making sure you get flying ketamine horse, and magic's everywhere in this
This
business.
is huge. All right,
Someone's gonna launch Black Cocky New now, and yeah, that'll.
it's gonna run. All right, so this thing, honestly, I think I'm gonna lower my DCA on this. I'm gonna DCA into it just to lower the entry because I bought it up here at like 11.5, and if I could get it for now 7.5, that's almost half off. And I can lower my DCA exponentially on this. So this one's kind of interesting. It's one of the only crypto projects out there that's got a plugin for Swift. So I like it. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more DCA, and I'm already like I'm buying projects with money I made trading and taking profits in the past. So it is what it is.
I have
These
to
three
say,
scammers need to get real jobs. You are gonna get
Hey,
deported.
it's Hannah, and you're deported.
There we go. I've been waiting to use that button. I've been
maybe he could go and get some of the coin that somehow is already launched. Somebody has already done it, but
Oh my God. Well, I have an incredible weekend planned. What do you guys have planned for the weekend? Are you going to be doing any Christmas parties? Because I'm about to go to a Christmas gala, and I'm my wife's arm candy for the Christmas gala. So
Nice.
I'm kind of excited. Julie, got any plans coming up this
I
weekend?
do. We have Christmas Town here, and so it's snow sleds and all kinds, ice skating, like a hay ride through Christmas lights. It's a whole thing. So I'm taking the family to that.
Okay.
Hopefully
Dion's-
it's not too cold.
Look, Dion's already at a Christmas party. Kelly, what you got going on this weekend? That dog hasn't moved at all. Look at her. Just stayed-
I have this stick that has a rope on the end of it that you can tie a toy to, and I make her chase it for like 10 minutes, and then she sleeps for like 2 hours. So I try to do that 2 or 3 times a day. But yeah, I actually have a question. I'll be playing with the dog. I'll be making some food. I'll hang out a bit, play some guitar, might set up my DJ gear and play. I haven't done that in a while and play some tunes. Last year on Christmas Day, I actually set up my whole rig and did a live stream for like 2 or 3 hours and DJ'd a bunch of music. But
Nice.
I'm curious. It's the season of family, right? So there's no judgment, there's no slight, but be honest. Everybody out there watching right now, every one of you has family of some sort, even if it's just chosen family. Your family gatherings, are you excited about them, or is it like I do it out of obligation? Do you have a fun family, or is it like, oh, okay, I got to pull it together so I can go see the family? God, they're so frustrating. Throw a 1 if they're fun. Throw a 2 if you're like, gotta do it because it's an obligation. And you know what? Everybody's family's different, but I think people forget that because sometimes people are so excited about the family gatherings. Other people are like, I have to do this fucking shit.
It's true. It's a mixed bag. I mean, like my mom is coming into town. Since I moved away from Colorado, and like when she's in town, it is the best time ever because she hasn't been around the kids. We get focused time together, and she makes the best green chili I've ever had. So I basically lock her in my house, and she's not able to leave until I have like 5 gallons of green chili made that I can freeze long term. Julie, do you look forward to seeing your family around Christmas?
I
Is
love
it-
my family. We have
Yeah.
a big, huge family. I've got my brother, I've got stepbrother, stepsister, and then our extended family. So there's going to be 30 plus people at our Christmas function
Okay.
this year. That's
Mine's
just
a
immediate
mixed bag.
family.
Mine's a mixed bag. Like I love them all. My sister's awesome until she's so concerned that Trump's about to revoke women's right to vote. And I'm just like, what are you even talking about? Half of his cabinet and members of like the highest
women.
position they've ever been for.
Yeah.
With so we try to talk about other stuff,
Yeah, absolutely. Julie, it was awesome having you on the show. Where can people keep up with all your content?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I am on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at Julie Kennis.
Love it. And because as we head into the weekend, don't be the guy or gal that never made it but had all the potential, folks. This is a time frame over the next 5 years where we have many, many disruptive technologies that are going to absolutely explode. Crypto being one of them, nuclear, AI, across the board, and then you're going to have nanotechnology in the healthcare sector in the late 2020s, early 2030s. This is a time frame to be locked in. So you have to be willing to push into the unknown. I am moving aggressively, and it's worked for me in protecting my family's future since the great flu washout. I love and appreciate every single one of you out there. Make sure to hit the like on the way out, share the show out with the world. And until next time, I love you. And
You are banned!